Middle East stands at the edge of a dangerous new chapter. After months of escalating conflict between the United States, Israel and Iran, the world's most critical shipping lane has become a geopolitical flashpoint. Now one of Europe's most powerful naval formations is entering the region. France's nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, Charles de Gaulle, is heading into the Red Sea. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most strategically important waterways on Earth. Roughly 20% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas flows through this narrow corridor every single day. Any disruption here sends shockwaves through the global economy. And for months, Iran has effectively controlled access to the strait. Tehran says the blockade is retaliation for US and Israeli military operations launched earlier this year. But the consequences have been global. Energy prices surged, insurance costs skyrocketed, commercial shipping companies began routing vessels around Africa. The world economy started to feel the strain. As tensions escalated, Europe began preparing its response. France and the United Kingdom spearheaded talks for a multinational naval coalition designed to restore freedom of navigation in the region.
And, Mr. Speaker, I can confirm today that together with President Macron, I will convene a summit of leaders this week to drive forward the international effort we have built in recent weeks, bringing together dozens of countries to ensure freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz.
But there was one major condition. This mission would be strictly defensive, not an offensive war against Iran, not a NATO intervention, but a coalition focused on protecting merchant shipping, clearing naval mines, and reassuring global trade.
And let me be very clear, this is about safeguarding shipping and supporting freedom of navigation once the conflict ends.
In April 2026, France and Britain convened a summit involving 51 nations. Days later, military planners from 30 countries gathered again to discuss how to reopen the Strait of Hormuz if diplomacy failed. And then France made its move. On May 6, 2026, the French carrier strike group crossed the Suez Canal and entered the Red Sea. At the centre of the formation was France's flagship, the Charles de Gaulle. Its primary fighter is the Rafale M naval strike fighter. The Rafale is genuinely multi-role. It can perform air superiority, maritime strike, reconnaissance, nuclear deterrence, and ground attack missions. Its weapons loadouts include Exocet anti-ship missiles, Scalp cruise missiles, Meteor long-range air-to-air missiles, and precision guided bombs. The Meteor missile is particularly significant. With ramjet propulsion and extremely long range, it is considered one of the most advanced air-to-air missiles currently in service. But the carrier does not sail alone. Escorting the strike group are some of the French Navy's most advanced warships, including the Horizon-class destroyer FS Chevalier Paul. The Horizon-class destroyers are considered among Europe's premier air defence ships. Also in the group are multiple FREMM-class stealth frigates, the fleet replenishment ship FS Jacques Chevalier, and potentially a nuclear-powered attack submarine operating beneath the surface. Officially, France says the deployment is designed to assess the regional operational environment, reassure maritime trade, and prepare for future multinational Hormuz missions. But strategically, this is also about deterrence. France is already deeply involved in European naval operations in the region. 2 French frigates are currently operating in the Red Sea under the European Union's maritime security mission, Operation Aspides. Launched in 2024, Aspides was created to protect commercial shipping from attacks by Houthi militants operating out of Yemen. European warships escort cargo vessels through dangerous waters while monitoring missile and drone threats. But now the mission could expand dramatically. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas recently stated that Aspides could eventually extend into the Strait of Hormuz itself once the regional conflict stabilizes.
First, on the Strait of Hormuz, our operation Aspides is already in the region. So, currently operating in the Red Sea, but the operational area is much wider. We need to change the mandate to also cover the demining activities. Then we can also do that.
Several European nations have already pledged additional warships. Europe is preparing for a much larger maritime operation. Before entering the Middle East, the French Carrier Strike Group had been scheduled for NATO exercises in the High North. But everything changed when the Middle East war intensified. France abruptly redirected the Carrier Strike Group back into the Mediterranean and from there towards the Red Sea. Along the way, the French fleet participated in NATO's Neptune Strike 26 exercise alongside forces from across Europe. Aircraft operating from Charles de Gaulle conducted simulated maritime strikes and patrol missions stretching from the Mediterranean to the Black Sea. Even without direct US carrier participation, Europe was signalling that it could project naval power independently. France is not alone. Britain is now deploying one of its most advanced warships to the region, the Type 45 destroyer HMS Dragon. Britain's Type 45 destroyers were built around a single idea: air dominance at sea. Where the US Navy's Arleigh Burke-class destroyers are multi-role, the Type 45 is optimised specifically for air defence. The ship's most recognisable feature is the Samson radar mounted high above the mast. This active electronically scanned array radar can track hundreds of targets, guide missiles simultaneously, and resist electronic jamming. Combined with the S-1850M long-range radar, the Type 45 creates one of the most capable air defence systems outside of the United States. The Sea Viper missile system uses Aster-15 missiles for short-range interception and Aster-30 missiles for long-range engagements. The Aster missile's unique PIF-PAF manoeuvring thrusters allow extremely sharp course corrections in the final seconds before interception. That makes them especially effective against sea-skimming missiles, manoeuvring drones, and supersonic threats. The destroyer had recently been operating near Cyprus, helping defend British military facilities after Iranian-made drones targeted RAF Akrotiri earlier this year. Now London says the ship will pre-position in the Middle East ahead of a possible multinational Hormuz mission. Prime Minister Keir Starmer insists Britain will not be dragged directly into the war. But the Royal Navy is clearly preparing for escalation. Not every European nation agrees on how to respond. Italy has joined the France-UK coalition and is preparing a 4-ship task force that includes minesweepers and escort vessels. Italy's mine warfare ships use high-definition sonar, remotely operated underwater vehicles, autonomous drones, and specialist divers. Some systems can identify mines visually on the seabed before neutralising them with an explosive charge. These ships are slow, vulnerable, and lightly armed, which means they require protection from destroyers and aircraft while operating. The Netherlands extended the deployment of the frigate HMS Everston alongside the French carrier group for additional operations in the Mediterranean. But Spain has refused to join the coalition. Madrid continues to oppose expanded military operations in the Middle East. Still, even Spanish naval leaders acknowledge the growing vulnerability of global maritime trade routes. What we are witnessing is more than a naval deployment. This is Europe testing its ability to operate as an independent military power in one of the world's most volatile regions. For decades, the United States dominated maritime security in the Persian Gulf. Now, European powers are stepping forward to protect global shipping themselves, and the risks are enormous. A single missile strike, a naval mine, or a confrontation between warships could ignite a broader regional conflict. For now, a fragile ceasefire remains in place between the United States and Iran, but negotiations appear stalled. Both sides continue accusing each other of attacks in and around the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, More warships are arriving, more nations are joining discussions, and one of Europe's most powerful carrier strike groups is now operating in the Middle East. The question is no longer whether the region will be militarised. It already is. The real question is whether this massive naval build-up prevents a wider war or becomes the spark that ignites one. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.